Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the tragic end of 12 LGBTQIA+ people who suffer from bullying and non-acceptance. So let's get right into it. Number 12, JRSC Rivera. JR was a transgender man who in 2019 took his own life after being outed without his consent by his school. When he came out to his family, they kicked him out of their home and he had nowhere else to go. He lived in his car for a while, until he was accepted into an LGBTQIA+ youth program. Unfortunately, the school outed him to his family without his consent, and his family became even more angry at him. They showed up to his school, harassed him, and took him out of the school in a police car. He was only 17. No, 11. Cease McDonald. Cease was a transgender woman who was the victim of a hate crime in 2009. She was brutally attacked and left to die by a man who had just been released from prison for attacking another transgender woman. She managed to make it to a bus stop where she collapsed and died. The man who attacked her was sentenced to over 10 years in prison. Number 10. Kenji Uchida. Kenji was a transgender man from Japan who took his own life in 2019. He had been struggling with his gender identity and sexuality for most of his life, and he was very open about it online. Unfortunately, he was constantly bullied and harassed for it. And in the end, he took his own life. No, 9. Amanda Gorman. Amanda was a transgender teenager who was found dead in her home in 2019. Although her family said that she died of a drug overdose, her friends believed that she was murdered. She had been outed to her family without her consent, and she'd been struggling with her mental health ever since. Number 8. Marissa, a transgender teenager who died by suicide in 2017. Her parents kicked her out of their home when she came out to them as transgender, and she was forced to live in her car. She had dreams of becoming a model, but unfortunately she was denied that opportunity because of her gender identity. Number 7. Sarah Macbeth. Sarah was a gay teenager who was beaten up by a group of boys in 2013. She died from her injuries and 2 of the boys were charged with her murder. No, 6. Tyler Clementi. Tyler was a gay teenager who jumped off the George Washington Bridge in 2010. After his roommate outed him to his family without his consent, his roommate was charged with harassment, and the school dean was charged with failing to report the incident. No, 5. Billy Joe Shaver. Billy Joe was a transgender man who died in 2017. He was homeless and living in a tent when he was found dead of an overdose. Number 4. Victoria Transina. Victoria was a transgender teenager who died in 2019. She was found dead in her home after taking her own life. No. 3. Jamie Lee. Jamie Lee was a transgender teenager who died in 2016. She was found dead in her home after taking her own life. No. 2. Joanne Chesimard. Joanne was a transgender woman who was convicted of killing a man in self-defense in 1979. She was sentenced to life in prison where she spent 26 years before being released in 2004. She died in 2013 due to complications from HIV/AIDS. No one. Lana Riekert. Lana was a transgender woman who died in 2012. She was found dead in her home after taking her own life. So that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching.